Oh god, this is not gonna be good. Ooh. Okay. Hello. Okay. I need to set my phone up. This is not gonna be fun. So, pastarru. Not looking good for them. I suggest y'all read the description for this video or live, whatever the hell you want to call it. So, first of all, we're going to go over the video that's been released about pastarru. I have some DMs with them and with the victim about the situation, which, for context on some of my earlier DMs with Pasta, at the time I was pretty busy in real life with work and all this other junk, like a relationship. And so I hadn't read the document about them in full, and I wasn't exactly paying attention to the dates or anything. So at first I was like, oh my god, it's just like this Ashley drama, because from what I had skimmed, I saw some silly allegations, like stuff about saying, oh, they're children because they're this height or whatever the hell. Blah, 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 blah. But then my friends who were looking at it more in full notified me that it was a lot more serious, and they had most likely lied about them stopping the behavior, which the behavior in question that we're going to be talking about is talking about sexual subjects with minors. Also, whenever I tried to confront Pasta about this, I was all like, I think I misunderstood your situation. I thought you said that you had stopped in 2022, but that's not the case. And I offered to make a group chat with Pasta and my friends because they had more serious questions to ask them about the situation and to go over, but they kept making excuses. They're like, I'm pretty busy, blah, 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 blah. They kept putting it off, which I found suspicious. And then I DM'd Pasta one day and I was telling them, hey, instead of deleting your server, because they were trying to delete the server at the time, I told them to archive it. Because I said, if you archive it, then you can go back and get proof, and the people who are throwing allegations against you can get proof as well, like more context for the screenshots in case you're sitting there all like, you don't have context for that. But anyways, let's get into the video. Let me make sure my chat is loading. Okay, so I'm gonna go over this. I have all these over here. I was trying to export the Discord server's messages and everything before the server got deleted, but for some reason there's something on my Chrome that blocked it. I don't understand it. Hello. Anyways, let's go. This is not gonna be fun. It's not looking good. I don't know how long this is gonna take. Also, I'm gonna hold my mic here. Chat, is this better when I hold my mic here? Boundaries are awesome, guys. Yeah, I agree. Unless you're just casually playing games with kids or some shit like that, you know, age-appropriate games or with a group or anything like that, then adults don't really need to be fiddling around with minors, you know? Especially not if you're all up in their DMs talking about breeding and sex and stuff like that. Like, come on. Way more clear. I think whenever I had it next to my laptop on my table, it was more staticky, and obviously I was more far away, whatever. Anyways, let's go.
For the safety of my...
I gotta turn my headphones on. Hold on. Let's go.
For the safety of minors and past server members' identities, all of the names besides my own and Pastarru's will be censored. Please do not harass anyone in this video. I do not condone this behavior. Hello, my name is Ersen, but I have gone by a few usernames in the past some might recognize me by. Some of these when I was younger were Kikaku and Ijiju, but in the present I have gone by Nusa or the derivatives Nusa or Nusatwit. I apologize if I'm all over the place. I have never done a video like this before, but this situation is very heartbreaking and damaging to me and the people around me, and I just can't stay silent about it anymore. I also apologize if within the recording you hear like random booms from my mic.
By the way, I want to make it clear to the chat that all of these screenshots, I'm pretty damn sure, from what I remember, Pasta's what, 22 now? Something like that. These screenshots are dating back to 2022, so 22, 23, 24, 25. So this is ranging from when Pasta was between the ages of 19 and 20, I believe. And then from 18, 19 to 21, 22, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be some screenshots from this year, which that's not good, fellas.
My microphone. I don't have like a proper setup for this, so I do apologize for that. I had been friends with Pastarru for 3 years, almost 4, I want to say around like February or March. I met them in 2021 and later joined their server on May 24th of the same year. I was freshly 14 years old when I was introduced to them. My birthday is January 14th, and upon I was freshly 14 years old when I was...
So 15, 2022. So that's a 15-year-old being friends with a 19-year-old? 19, 20-year-old? Dog, you're a bit too old for that. Hate to be one of those people that inserts themselves to compare to someone else, but when I was 19... 15-year-olds are babies. Why would you want to be friends with them? Outside of, like, gaming and stuff? Like, what? What are you doing? Weirdo. This was my intro when I was 15, as I deleted my 14-year-old one because of embarrassment, but still proves I was here as a child. Yeesh.
Was introduced to them. My birthday is January 14th, and upon joining their server, immediately became a moderator. They were, I believe, 19 when I met them. Their birthday is all over the place because...
Now, why the hell would you have a 15-year-old as a moderator when you're 19? Surely your more adult friends could handle situations accordingly. I mean, I know there's some Roblox servers where they have frickin' 15, 16-year-olds moderating that, but, like... I don't know. Especially if they immediately became a moderator. That seems pretty irresponsible.
They like to hide it, but we believe it to be February 2nd, 2002.
I know this is some 14-year-old like kid. You're talking to a mentally ill 22-year-old. I'm not doing this. Look at my animation. It's my birthday. So, 2/02/24, accidental birthday animation.
I have done most of the rigging for Pasta's VTubers, and I have been included in multiple streams that have since been archived, but conversations exist in DMs of these streams taking place, and others can confirm my presence. As of writing the script and recording of this video, I am still 17 years old. I have been with them through most of their dramas, whether they are major or minor, and we used to VC very frequently, sometimes every day. I invited them to my personal life, and therefore we had exchanges about similar things. So, what happened? A document got released about their behavior around minors, and I wanted to confirm and add my own perspective about the situation. Up until that point, I had not realized how disgusting and weird their behavior was towards me as I was growing up. They have been in my life for 4 years, which is, at this point, 25% of my life so far. When you are younger, I think...
What the fuck is this? Is this their DMs?
I think it's difficult to distinguish what is appropriate and what is not. As younger, I think it's difficult my life so far.
Let me check the dates. Oh, okay, so this was the deleted 14-year-old account, I think? I'm just laughing my ass about blah, 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 blah. And she realizes, I doubt she'd stop them. Nervous screaming. She's too nice. They're just chilling. Oh, there's also seated wheelbarrow if I'm not saying that. Blah, blah, blah. Where the fuck are you going with this? Bit not safe for work, but not her. I'm pretty sure Cerebrum didn't have anything down there until they appeared in Eden and looked and was like, what the fuck? Also, no nipples. That's important knowledge. Why has it been lately that I've been describing my OC's biology and or how they are in what do you mean by that? Also, why are you telling a 14-year-old about your OC's nipples and genitals? Like, this isn't educational. Oh, I'm describing my OC's biology. Are you sure? Because, like, you can describe stuff about your OC's biology by being all like, oh, yeah, they have no gender. Like, you know, no, you can't sexualize them, whatever. I don't, I don't know. It just seems a little bit weird.
When you are younger, I think it's difficult.
I want to breed Rue. She's ugh, love. Sorry, let me simp for my own character. It's the 3 a.m. thoughts. This is in 2022. So Cerebrum got no balls. Rue apparently had both parts. 21. Ran out of wax, so you're short. But hey, enjoy your new penis. My what? Why are we talking about this? It's weird. Today is the day where I feel my soul evaporating because I made more Cerebrum porn. Okay, never mind. I take back what I said in Pasta's DMs because I was like, I think it's stupid that they're comparing you to Cinebear. What? It's giving Cinebear, honestly. I hate to sound like that, but what? Man, I was wrong. Crazy. I know they're not lovey-dovey a lot, but that's for their private time. That's why those fingers are covered on Lilac's hands, you know. Okay. You're legal. Do you want to breed him or something? That's weird.
Difficult to distinguish what is appropriate and what is not, especially.
I mean, is it a fanfic if I wrote it though, or do I have to sit with the fact that my OCs breeded each other? So is this where the allegations about you writing smut material with a 15-year-old came from? Let me see. Okay. By the way, this was before their server got deleted. Also, look how in this thing right now, 2 months ago, I'm also apologize for that. I am deeply sorry and apologetic for talking about topics relating to sex, not safe for work, and porn in this server. I am very sorry and I need to do better. And then, hypocrite. If you've read the description, I talk about how their apologies don't make sense. This doesn't make sense. These are some older screenshots that I found. Not the sex crabs. Sex. Squid sex lore. Surrey, Nephridium, Alyssum, learning what sex is. What? 08. I feel like I should talk about this. Blah, 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 blah. To be completely and utterly honest, I was not aware a lot of these things were bad, referring to current day. To add, some of this was 5 years ago, which I cannot remember well to apologize properly for. I have no evidence to show that I am innocent. I have no way of actually telling if my apologies mean anything. They really don't. Which, by the way, you did know they were bad because I have DMs with you. You know, you said that you had friends who were telling you that it was bad. Let me see. Let's see. I'm not sure where the whole talking to a 15-year-old while I was 19 came from. I think it was because I was talking about my ex and got mixed up with him. Another whole bag of worms. I'd rather not drag into this, but I'm awfully confused with him a lot, sadly. I have no proof of that claim. Yada, yada, yada. I can explain this image while saying that this was posted during... Okay, this is the image they're talking about. Sorry, I'm trying to find the thing where they say that, oh yeah, I stopped my behavior because my friends told me not to. I think your biggest issue is being irresponsible with the not safe for work jokes, but given that you fixed that a good bit ago, I guess it's not an issue anymore. And then they lied. Yeah, I'm so grateful I had friends who were willing to tell me directly that, hey, this is wrong, we should do something about this. And also glad that they were able to help me figure it out, knowing my past of not being able to do things well on my own. I have a friend who does the same thing, blah, 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 me being a Frick the Pirate dick writer. Oh my god, same LOL, la 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 la. Wait, was there saying... Where's those screenshots of their friends telling them? Here's some more proof of that. Oh, here it is. Their friends confronted them in 2022. The thing is, bestie, I have crude humor too. However, I don't do it here because there's an overwhelming amount of minors. Gotta know when to filter it, yeah. I keep things in order when people do step out of line. What happened today was mostly things getting out of hand in the state of how people treat Aether and how they're sexualizing the characters. You're the one also sexualizing the characters, dog. You're encouraging these kids to when you're talking about, oh, cerebrum sex, or something like that. Like, what? Although I'm kind of sad I wasn't told earlier. Whoops, but thank you, young. I feel like if you're an adult, it shouldn't take someone else to tell you not to behave like that to stop the inappropriate behavior, / not even behave like that in the first place. At first I thought they were just ignorant and they were making sex jokes and stuff and that, oh, my friends told me to stop in 2022, so I fixed my behavior. You see, that would be better if they did, but they lied. And then after they apologized, they did it again. And then after they apologized, they did it again. And then, guys, the allegations are getting out of hand. I need to shut this shit down. Like, come on. I'm just going to casually clean up stuff right now because I'd rather not bring any more attention from this. To be honest, yeah. I think what would help is if you specify as staff what your rules mean exactly, what each rules constitute. By doing that, by having harder and clearer boundaries, it makes things a lot easier. Everything else is followed pretty well. That I understand, agreeing with Blank. But with that rule in particular, it's caused by an avalanche of problems. /info. Sorry for not bringing this to your attention sooner, Aether. Will do. I will probably have to calm down my really crude humor since I got in trouble in your chats by it too, baha. But since we're talking about weird people and such, I do want to talk about a couple of things that I think are super duper important. Blah, 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 blah. In order to have a healthy community, you have to adhere to your own rules while also holding others accountable. That way it's thorough and sets a higher bar for what you expect. I'm being honest about this because if you put rules in place to prevent certain things while also simultaneously breaking your own rules, it makes it difficult to establish more barriers if the most basic of barriers aren't being followed. Since you pulled up if your name broke your own rules, Aether. Didn't want to say it in main, so I brought it in here. I'm going to delete the screaming. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not mad. I'm just being real with you. It's your community, Aether. I'm just bestowing knowledge here from my experience of having a community who did the exact same thing. Not gonna lie, I wasn't aware if it was breaking shit, TBH. Maybe just stray away from sexual terms. Oh, but... I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know. I found the parts of my friends confronting me about my server and changing it to 15+, later 16+. It happened in the same year during the inappropriate messages. I'll get full context, but I need to censor names. But you're saying, hey, this is wrong. We should do something about this. Your apologies don't mean anything if you're continuing the behavior. Apologies for closing some channels. That was due to some accidents happening. They'll be open again sometime soon. Anyways, rules updated. Please read over them as soon as possible. Importantly, the age minimum was raised to 15 due to recent events and how the community is growing. Invites will be made public soon, but otherwise the server is currently going to be closed for a bit. Hope you're having a happy new year. What? But I don't really get it because you're sitting here acknowledging the fact that you're breaking your own server rules and you were being sexual when you know there's a bunch of kids in there. They told you that. And then you're like, oh yeah, we'll change it to 15+. I'm sorry. And then you do it again? And then you do it after you apologize again? In this? Like, come on. Come on, dude. This needs context. I am very sorry and apologetic for talking about topics relating to sex. Yeah, whatever. Back to the video. Just needed to show y'all that.
Especially if someone who you are supposed to believe you are friends with thinks it's okay. When the adults around you start acting like certain you are supposed to believe you are friends with thinks it's okay.
So glad Instagram is gone now. I somehow posted borderline fetish content and believed my cat would explode if I ate food. Look, I'm not pastarru if I don't add some weird-ass shit for shits and giggles, especially on Sarah. He used to have 2 dicks, but I took his dick off in exchange for egg-laying abilities. This is the other issue, because they confronted it, I forget the pronouns, it/them, something like that. They were confronted on, you know, hey, don't talk sexual because there's minors around. But then you're talking sexual and around minors still, and in minors' DMs. I don't like you. I don't like this situation. I think that's suspicious. I think that's weird. I think that's disgusting. I feel like you know better, actually. But I misjudged you because you tried to play the, oh, I'm so ignorant. I'm an ignorant person. My friends told me off. I'm a good person now. Nope. Liar.
Okay. When the adults around you start acting like certain behaviors are right, then surely they must be. I was present in a majority of these conversations, or I at least read them while they were actively happening in the server. I didn't understand anything that was wrong with them because I was so young, and to be honest, I'm not sure if I really understood what was happening at all. Yeah, sure, I knew what sex was, but I didn't understand it in the way that adults do. This is mainly the problem with these conversations. They shouldn't have been happening, not in a server where at the time the server age limit was 13+. You can see these conversations happening before 2022, and then the screenshot where the server age limit was raised. But they continued, and regardless of if the server age limit is 15+, 15 is still a child. It's still a minor, and they were interacting with them in this way. After the document was released too, the age limit was conveniently raised to 16+ instead of 15+. 12 years 16+ instead of 15.
Heavy suggestive themes are not allowed as there are minors here. Blood is allowed, no guts. In 2021 too. Dude, come on. 2021, 2, 3, 4. 4 years of irresponsibility. I didn't know it was bad for like the past 5 years. Let me read their thing. I've had inappropriate conversations about minors, blah, 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 blah. Took a new start and a friend to say that I'm in the wrong. I can't fix this and I can't pray everyone forgets it. You wanted people to forget it at first because you're like, I don't want to bring attention to this. Like, come on, dude. This is just sad.
15+. 12-year-old.
And if it'll be posted, it's on an adult's website. I'm not fucking around. I'm pretty sure 12-year-olds know what sex is and will find it all funny. I banned 2 people. Come on, dude.
Sex. What? Pasta had discussed with me in VC multiple times about how they think 15-year-olds are, quote, old enough to deal with topics of sex.
That's fucking gross. That's groomer shit, dude.
I think there is a major difference of sex being discussed in a biological context and sex being discussed in an explicit context. Most of these conversations were not in a biological context and were in an explicit one instead. Even then, had they been about biology, I don't feel as though it is appropriate for an adult to discuss sex with a minor in any context unless they are their parent or guardian. You are not the correct person to be teaching children about anything of that nature, especially if the parent is not aware. I also want to discuss the people that Pasta decides to be friends with. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I am not revealing anyone's names. This makes the situation a bit difficult for me, but most of the people Pasta were and is friends with were either minors at the time or very strange people, in my opinion. I won't really go into depth about that because I don't feel like it is relevant towards this video, but I do feel as though it is fair to share what I think, as this is a situation that does apply to me. I was 14, another person I knew at the time was 13, one of them was as young as 9 when Pasta had met them. Pasta has a history of befriending minors and being awfully strange to them. The person that they were friends with that was 13, they are a year younger than me and are 16 or 17 now. Last
That's
year,
fucking
in
insane.
2023,
Talking
Pasta
about
made
sex with a 13-year-old?
sex simulator game for them
What?
about one of the characters that they really liked. The game was mostly a joke, but I still feel as though it is an inappropriate thing to do for a 16-year-old as a person in their 20s.
You really...
Here are the screen...
No, that's the thing. It still has sexual content in it. Look at this. Oh, hi, Arsene. She blushes boobily. I've been waiting for you.
As a
I'm sorry that I'm late, Pookie. That's okay, baby girl. Do you want to sex now, Arsene?
The screenshots of Pasta being the one to...
Okay, my Pookie Wookie baby muffin skittle ass.
Come up with this idea for making...
Hot aggressive sex is happening. Liquids everywhere.
Simulator for
Finally,
the
you're
16-year-old.
a piece. That was the best sex ever. I love you, Arsene. Oh my god. That's just
strange.
inappropriate.
You can see that in the beginning of the game, the screenshot the 16-year-old sent is featured in the game. I understand that is circumstantial evidence, but I just feel like it is relevant. Pasta had once acknowledged these conversations and made a, quote, apology, but not on their main platform. Rather, it was done on their side platforms, Tumblr and Discord, both of which are now deleted. I have the apology from the Discord saved, and I will read it to you here. At everyone, I feel like I should talk about...
Oh god. Fuck this. This was in 2024. I feel like I should talk about this. Where is it? I am deeply sorry. See, this was, and then they said it after. I already showed the screenshot, but like they continued to talk about sexual stuff afterwards. Hypocrite.
About this. I'll work on a public statement, but as of now, this is on my Tumblr at the moment. Not a proper apology, I need to actually type one up. To be completely and utterly honest, I was not aware a lot of these things were bad, referring to current day.
That's a lie. It's a fat fucking lie, dude. That's a fat, juicy, fat fucking lie. I didn't know any better. I'm just a young person. I just have autism. Liar.
To add, some of this was 5 years ago, which I cannot remember well to apologize properly for. I have no evidence to show that I am innocent.
Because you aren't innocent, dude. Oh, I don't remember enough to apologize. I doubt that. I think you just don't want to admit it. Because you don't want people to realize that this has been going on since 2021. Come on.
And I have no way of actually telling if my apology means anything. I will explain my behavior, but I am not excusing it. You are free to dismiss it. You are free to not forgive, and I understand. If you need to talk to me, I am here. Again, I do not remember a lot of this and cannot apologize properly to everyone. I don't know who I'm apologizing to, and I want to apologize to those who need it. And then here are the links to the original questions about the document that originally got released on their Tumblr, which is now deleted and you cannot access unless you can find a reblog of the posts. I know names are there. Do not harass them. If anything, there's probably some truth to this. I have set my Tumblr to public so everyone is able to check. And second of all, thank you for bringing this up to me. I make mistakes and I want people to tell me about them. Yes,
Thank you for bringing this up to me. I totally didn't know about it in 2022. I'm just a silly little baka. Like, come on, you knew better. Don't fucking bullshit your audience. Lies. Lies, lies, lies. All of it. Don't believe this person. I hate to try and seem like I'm coming from a place of bias, but I've already shown you in the screenshots of them literally admitting in my DMs that their friends had confronted about this behavior ages ago because of the minors being in the server. Come on. Bullshit. Bullshit, I say. Also, very bold of you to lie when you know that my DMs with you exists. That's not a very smart move.
yes, I'm immature, and yes, I'm unreasonable, and I want to fix that. I am not good at fixing that. I want to get better at fixing myself.
I'm not. I'm just so broken. I'm not very good at fixing myself. Come on, dude. Just log off the internet. Like, keep your shit in a diary. Talk to your adult friends who can talk about, like, weird stuff like breeding. Like, come on, dude.
I'm apologizing to my Discord server first. Do not pity me.
Honestly, there's enough proof at this point to where you could wrap this up now and call it a day. It's all so visceral and bad. Yeah, but there's even more stuff, apparently. This is 30 minutes long. I'm gonna go through all the evidence so I can get the full perspective on it, you know?
Do not worry about me. Have a conversation with me. I am not saying or asking, oh, I am innocent, please forget what I've done. No, that is not how you grow and change. I want to grow and change. That requires for me to have a second or third or even 100 pair of eyes to say that is wrong. Do not do that. I was not aware that these behaviors are wrong, and I am thankful to those who
Liar.
brought it up. I apologize if I sound very accusatory or defensive through text. I am also very emotional right now, and I apologize for that. I am deeply sorry and apologetic for talking about topics related to sex, NSFW, and porn in this server. I'm very sorry and I need to apologize to you about this. It is wrong of me as an adult to bring about those topics in a server where minors are here. I want to apologize for showing NSFW in the server. That is clearly and obviously wrong. Now, I'm explaining myself, not excusing. I don't remember showing any of you any NSFW related works. The closest I've gotten is showing a fan fiction about one of my AUs, and I know that there's an NSFW fanfic I have written on there on my account, but you have to be logged in to see it, and I have to confirm that you are agreeing to see it. Maybe they are referring me explicitly saying I have drawn NSFW in here, which is a big mistake. I'm sorry, I used to think it'll be okay to mention since this is a 16 plus server, and that I have never posted any of my NSFW art anyways that you cannot find. I sound accusatory here, and I'm sorry for my tone. I'm very...
What? I used to think it'll be okay to mention because this is a 16 plus server and I've never posted in my not safe for work art anyways that you cannot find. Maybe I'm just tired. I don't understand that sentence. Whatever.
very sorry for being rude to server members in the server. I'm not sure how to explain myself or defend myself. I am in the wrong for this. I'll look into this and please for the love of God tell me if I'm being wrong or hurtful. I'm not sure what else I'm apologizing for and please let me know so I can address it. Some other things I was also being told regarding my exes who I'm friends with. We are on good terms and I feel like they can speak for themselves regarding this if they like. Please note if they feel like it. Do not harass anyone. I am apologizing because my behavior is wrong. Now, I have multiple thoughts about this apology. The latter half of the apology where they mention their exes is not really relevant to the issues that I am discussing in this video, so therefore I will not really address it. And to say that a lot of this was 5 years ago, while that is true, some of this was 3 years ago, 2 years ago, last year, 6 months ago, 3 months ago. So to say that it was 5 years ago and you can't remember to properly apologize for it, while I can understand to a certain extent, is not proper. So to say that it 3 months ago.
Sorry for cursing you out earlier. That was really inappropriate of me.
You're legal. Do you want to breed them or something?
Ew.
Years ago, last year, 6 months ago, 3 months ago. So to say that it was 5 years ago and you can't remember to properly apologize for it while...
Chat, please stop bringing up Jack. This is not relevant to the Jack stuff. You don't have to compare situations all the time.
I can understand to a certain extent is not exactly the truth. The word choice in this apology is very specific to me. To say that, if anything, there's probably some truth to this just feels weird when there are literal screenshots proving that this did happen and is what happens. Brushing it off as being immature also leaves a very sour taste in my mouth.
It should, because they lied. They knew better. They were probably trying to exploit you, or, well, I can't prove intention, but they knew better. That's what we can prove based on the evidence they provided, others have provided, I've provided. Like, come on. You can't just sit here and be like, oh, I'm ignorant, I didn't know any better, when you do. I keep saying the same thing over and over, but it's genuinely pissing me off.
It's one thing to be childish, but it's another thing to just be irresponsible and endanger minors. And to have your Discord and Tumblr, which are your side platforms, as your priority instead of your main platform, which is your YouTube.
Also, I find it funny because Pasta had looked at the Cine Bear stuff too. Not trying to compare to situations at all. I know I said I don't want to. I'm just trying to point out, like, the hypocrisy. They saw the Quartel stuff, they saw the Cine Bear stuff, I know they've seen the Jack stuff. Like, you can't sit here. Like, come on. I know they've seen videos about groomers and stuff like that within the past 4 years, and adults talking about sexual topics with minors. Like, you can't just sit here and be like, oh, I didn't know, I thought it was normal in this community. No. Dude.
I feel like that isn't appropriate because less people are going to see your apology on Discord and Tumblr rather if it was posted on YouTube. I feel like, to me, that just screams like cowardice and not being able to actually own up to the situation. I understand being emotional.
Well, yeah, they tried to hide it initially.
Like this, but it's not appropriate to immediately resort to your Discord server. I feel like the correct course of action would have been to apologize on YouTube instead, after taking a bit of time to remember and recall and think about what has happened. I also want to bring up the fact where they say, I used to think it'll be okay to mention sex and SFW topics since
Hi, Nessa. I don't know if that's how I'm supposed to pronounce it, but this is a good video. I'm proud of you for actually, like, standing up and bringing new evidence forward. You've kickstarted what I think is a good thing. The downfall of Pastarru, which, like, not literally, oh yeah, I'm wishing for their downfall or whatever, but I don't think adults who endanger minors and lie about not knowing better should have a platform or be on here, you know? I don't think that's a hot take.
this is a 16 plus server and that I've never posted any of my NSFW art anyways that you cannot find. I find this very interesting because the server age limit was changed. Most of these screenshots happened in 2021.
Also, notice how Pasta initially didn't own up to what they did. They were just like, oh, an accident. Anyways, haha, let's bump the age up by like 2 years. Oh, it was 13 plus? Now it's 15 plus. Oops, that's not good. I want to continue making sex jokes even though it's against the rules and it's putting minors in danger. Let's change it to 16 plus. Like, come on.
Where it
also,
was
yes, the Salem account needs to be deplatformed. Don't
plus.
let this person...
The age limit was changed around January 1st, 2022, I want to say. I don't know the exact date, but I'll put the screenshot up of what the date actually is.
And then they didn't even change their behavior. Because if you scroll back, I showed some screenshots of them and their moderators talking about it. It just doesn't make sense to me. They're like, yeah, there's minors in here. You shouldn't be talking sexually about them. I'm sorry, I didn't know any better. Continues to do it. Tell me.
There are some parts in the original document that are never addressed in this apology, nor the one on their Tumblr, as far as I remember. Again, I don't have access to the apology because it has since been deleted, so I hope you can take my word for it with everything else that I've shown you. Some of the things that weren't addressed in either of these statements were co-writing, essentially, alongside a 15-year-old.
Ooh, I have DMs with them. Being real, I didn't like them since my initial contact with that server. I assume y'all were friends because of the fic or whatevs. No, not really. It was collateral for a friend groupish. They were there and very active, so it was a suck-up type thing. You should see the fic my friend wrote. Teehee, blah, blah, blah. Where's the fic? Ignore the scribby, but this is the only safe for work thing here. If you don't count the potential dirty-minded stuff. Sink on the flower, what? That writing thing. It was pastarru where you were 15. Yeah.
An NSFW fanfiction.
What did they say about that? They also never gave proof that they didn't know the 12-year-old's age when I asked them. I think that might be a flag. I think I'm... Okay, I think I misunderstood your situation. I didn't go through the document entirely as I've been busy and was planning on doing it bit by bit until I had my day off of work to review it. I thought your behavior had stopped in 2022 after you were told to knock it off and such by your friends, and even with it just being a 16-plus server, there's quite a lot of inappropriate conversations going on / with the environment in general in your server past 2022. Also, I don't remember if you mentioned your reason for talking to the 12-year-old, but if you were aware of their age, why did you continue to talk to them? My memory is so unclear because there's so many people who are like them. It was either I was just being polite, being confronted for the ban, but the messaging kept happening because I kept being messaged, and I really, really don't know how to tell a child no and hurt them, or just unclear who they were in the first place. There was a lot going on. So if a child tried to date you, would you use that same excuse? Now, I'm not saying you would date a child. I'm not here to accuse you of that or anything. It's just a hypothetical question. How far would you be willing to take that excuse if this stuff had gotten out of hand? More than it already is. That's not good. There was a lot going on. The whole crap is me going like, well, I got them all out, so I can do whatever I want. Bad, horrible of me. I regret it, I'll be honest. But they didn't even wipe server members. They just changed the age. I'm glad you pointed that out. I was probably wrong in my judgment. Off topic, but I do plan to delete the server because of how easily people, and even I, get too comfortable, and my audience is getting too big to the point it's just out of hand. It's not out of hand with them. You're the one who's out of hand with your behavior. You're the one who's encouraging it by talking about it. My friend is wondering if they could have a group chat with you, me and him, so we can talk about this better since I misunderstood your situation initially.
Maybe later. I'm busy keeping up with life.
Anyways, where's the fic thing? Sorry. No, where is it? What's up with the claims about you writing smut with 15-year-olds? I only really block them every time I run into them. Sometimes blah, 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 da, 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 da. I didn't screenshot. Blah, da, 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 da. Okay, this isn't what I wanted to say. Come on, where's the 15-year-old? I'm not sure about the whole talking to a 15-year-old while I was 19 came from. I think it was because I was talking about my ex and got mixed up. Yada, yada, yada. Yeah, whatever. I think I already went over this. Anyways.
Of your OCs. Another one of these things that weren't addressed were the fact that you were kind of stalking a 12-year-old at the time who is 15 now. their Twitter and all of their social media profiles and harassing them. You also fail to acknowledge the fact that you did communicate with this 12-year-old at the time very consistently.
Yeah, and they tried to excuse it because I don't know how to say no to a child, guys. I didn't know how to say no to the 12-year-old GoatCatto. Come on.
And then got very upset with them and called it parasocial behavior, and then proceeded to label them as one of your stalkers. I feel like you...
Yeah, I can confirm that. They worded it like they were a stalker. Which is weird because there was someone who went out of their way to make a slander document about this child who came out about their experiences. I haven't found an explanation for that, but they were comparing them to like Hitler, fucking making fun of their art, comparing it to pasta, saying that their Sona was a ripoff of pastas, stuff like that. Like, dude.
You are in your right to label that kind of stuff if you find it important for your own safety, but it's a child. They're a child, and you are harassing them and labeling them as your stalker. I understand that children can sometimes do very unreasonable...
I mean, yes, by all means, you can be stalked or whatever by a kid. I've had kids who wouldn't leave me the fuck alone, but I just kept blocking them. The difference between those situations and this is that you kept engaging with them, even though you were like, oh yeah, they're making me uncomfortable, so I kept blocking and banning them, blah, 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 blah. But then you still talked to the 12-year-old before, during, after. Like, your timeline isn't making sense.
Oh, they're upsetting me. It's a stalker.
But, oh, I don't know how to say no to a 12-year-old. But, oh, what was me? They're stalking me. You are confusing. Very confusing. What the hell is going on here? And what the hell is with all this bullshit? That a 12-year-old's in the 5th and 6th grade and Pasta is old enough to legally drink or smoke and get... You would not catch me hanging out with a 12-year-old. The only time I talk to kids is if they're coming to me about being victimized or if they're sending me fan art. But you won't catch me dead pulling this predator shit. I don't know what's up with you people. I'm 20. This motherfucker's 2 years older than me. What are you doing? And I didn't talk about it because I was waiting for more shit to come out. But yeah, no, you're a weirdo, dog.
And not very good things, but
I also just
me
don't like doing call-outs. They make me nervous.
Personally, I can never blame a child for some of their actions. I think it's important for a child's development to be able to own up to their mistakes and realize when they have done something wrong. But with the constant labeling and essentially stalking of their profiles, you are not giving them the room to grow and change as a person. And that says a lot more about you rather than the child. Even if you were to disregard my points, I want to bring up the fact that I was in call when they were typing up this apology in their Discord, or rather when they first sent it, and I do have other people to confirm that this happened. Obviously, I don't have proof of this because I'm not recording every single voice call I have with pastarru, but...
Okay, speaking of stalking 12-year-olds, you know that slander document I talked about? Pastarru or whoever the hell made it? Now, I'm not saying Pasta made it. Nobody knows who made it. It was probably like a Pasta fan, whatever the hell. They went as far to stalk and track down all of these... Oh, God, I can't speak. All of the social media accounts of the 12-year-old, and they listed it in the document. What the fuck are you doing?
I hope that you can take their testimonies. When they first uploaded this apology and statement to their Discord and Tumblr, and I was in VC with them when they did it, they were essentially mocking the situation. They didn't really care that they were getting called out for this. In fact, a lot of the conversation went along the lines of, I don't really care that I'm being called out for this, I just want to get people off of me. And
I believe them, honestly. Obviously, we don't have any recordings, we don't have any evidence so far. Maybe they'll show something. But given what they said originally in 21, 22, where they were like, I don't want to bring attention to this, and then they did it again, I don't think they'll ever truly be sorry. Especially knowing this now. Like, I know it's so he said, she said, but I believe it. I believe it.
And so that's why I posted this apology. They said something along the lines of they knew that, quote, most of this wasn't true, end quote. And then they proceeded to mock the people who originally asked the question on their Tumblr and then the original creator of the document. Even after
Plus, it's
all
way
of
too
this,
specific to be
I
like,
feel like it
a
wouldn't have
lie,
been
I
as
think.
bad if they just posted it on their main platform and made it visible to everybody who knows of their content. But all of this is disregarded when the behavior is continued after the apology and
Exactly.
mistakes are ignored.
They don't care.
The most important part to this entire situation is the fact that Pasta actually admitted to this behavior in my server.
Twerk sauce. I forgot to say the motherfucker who has beef on me released a doc, and it's genuinely just me not watching my mouth around kids. Oops, genuinely. You already knew this.
After the apology was released, and then proceeded to delete it at 3 in the morning. And then proceeded to delete or archive
What the
a
fuck?
lot of the channels in the Discord server, deleting rules, and then deleting channels such
Should
as
have
No
taken
Make
my
and No Voice
advice.
channels, and then privating all of
I
the
told
rest.
you not to delete
And
everything. I said to
also
archive
at
it.
3 in the morning.
Motherfuckers
names
don't
being
listen to me, and
censored,
then they're
this
surprised
particular
whenever it doesn't
situation
work in their
becomes even
favor.
more
But the
difficult
thing
to
is, it
talk
wasn't
about,
for their
but we
favor.
will call
It was
this new
so
person in
I
question
could fucking
Jeffrey.
have more time to
That
go
is
through
not
their
their
shit.
actual
God
name,
damn it.
But for clarification
Same with other
purposes
people.
for this video, that is what I'll be
You
calling
could have
them.
context for the original
Jeffrey
allegations.
is
You could
a
have context
31-year-old
for stuff
who
that's
joined
not true
Pastarru's
on your
Discord
side.
server a few
Like,
months
come
before I was
on.
deleted. Within this time, Jeffrey has shown to me weird behavior, and upon further investigation into their profile, it is even
I am so glad this is finally being talked about, because I knew someone in real life who Pasta was sending porn to in 2022 when they were 15, and they showed it to me IRL, so I didn't have the proof to call Pasta out. I was 17, the kid was 15, and Pasta was 19. You might want to see if your friend can gather the proof about that. I'm not trying to say that it didn't happen. I'm just saying it would be wise if they could maybe find their old DMs with Pasta. Just so we can have more proof that, you know, this did in fact happen. I am sorry if it did, though.
worse. To be clear, I was 17 when these events I'm going to talk about happened. I have my own personal grievances with Jeffrey, I will admit that. They have insulted me to my face before, and I have discussed how it makes me upset, but I also understood at the time that they wouldn't be banned for simply upsetting me because that's not fair and that's an abuse of power. Jeffrey, on their Twitter profile, would interact with 18-year-olds, fresh 18-year-olds, very inappropriately and very frequently.
Oh, God.
And their account
Predatory.
is flagged as an NSFW account or minors DNI. And yet Jeffrey would still interact with minors on it, including me and some of my friends. This is very strange to me. I was in VC with Jeffrey and Pasta one time when they initially joined the server. Jeffrey turned on their camera and started a tour of their apartment and showcased a lot of suggestive anime posters of anime girls depicted in a rather young way. Jeffrey then opened up a suggestive furry blind bag of some sort, and I knew Pasta was watching the stream because they were actively engaging with Jeffrey opening and showcasing the items.
That's
I
fucking
understand
gross.
suggestive isn't NSFW, but in Jeffrey's position, I would still not do this with a minor, and I still find this incredibly upsetting. But ignoring all of this, let's say Pasta wasn't actually watching the stream. I reached out to them a few days later explaining how Jeffrey's activity on Twitter and engaging inappropriately with new 18-year-olds and me, and what they did on call made me uncomfortable, and it's probably not safe to have them around children.
But
Pasta had this to say.
you might have to block him.
Block the 31-year-olds.
I mean, yes, obviously block them, but Pasta needed to cut contact as well. Pasta should have said something when suggestive fucking lolly-esque anime posters were being shown to a minor. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah, let me show you my my underage exhibit. Like, come on.
As the minor interacting with me on an NSFW account. That makes sense, I guess. I explained after in more detail how I felt, saying, hey, it's no worries, I actually forgot what you're apologizing for, so it doesn't matter. The thing about Jeffrey, though, and I avoided talking about it for a second because...
Notice how Pasta avoids conversation about stuff that they can be held accountable for, or when it comes to serious stuff. It's because they don't care. They did it with them, they did it with me, they probably did it with other people too, as you can see here. They don't give a shit. My God. Yeah, I'm so sorry this happened. Let me just completely ignore you. Oh, I'm sorry, I was busy. Haha, I completely forgot. I have memory issues. Come on.
I didn't want to start drama or anything because I don't really consider myself that kind of person, is that if he's interacting with minors, they will look at his profile. Like I said, the minor's DNI works both ways, and it's kind of inexcusable.
This also just goes to show that, you know, Pasta is once again being informed about how, hey, adults shouldn't be engaging with kids sexually. Come on.
If he's 31.
I didn't know any better.
He knows his
This
rights
was
from
what,
wrong.
24,
He's double my age
25,
and showed
10,
me on camera a tour of his
24,
apartment
2
in
months
a
ago? Are you
suggestive
fucking
/
kidding me?
borderline NSFW blind furry bag and communicates with 15-year-olds on his NSFW account. It's not illegal, I guess, but it's just heavily frowned upon, and it's kind of gross. It just feels like if this were any other person, they would be banned immediately. I don't want to tell you what you should and shouldn't do because that's not my place, and I really do respect your decisions and boundaries. I just wanted to let you know how I feel. This is the last...
Oh God, Nani. Gotta be honest, Pasta used to say and drew some weird shit with me too when I was a minor, now that I'm thinking about it. Dude! Okay. Gather screenshots as soon as you can. Export your DMs and any proof you have of inappropriate interactions. You need to grab it now before they freak the fuck out and start deleting shit. Also, I'm so sorry, I need to check my mic. Okay, we're so back. I talk about ships, but I also try to keep it as safe for work as possible, like simple kisses or fun romantic occasions. Is that weird? Don't be inappropriate, and you're fine. Also, just don't engage with kids about that. Like, it doesn't make you a criminal, but I personally would find that weird. Like, maybe go find yourself some adult friends to talk to about that if you're an adult. But anyways, let's continue.
You'll hear from me about the situation. I'm sorry to keep dragging it. And they ghosted me, only to respond to a web phishing code immediately. I guess you have to have your priorities set somewhere. Multiple people at the time had also expressed in private how uncomfortable they were with Jeffrey in my server, which Pasta acknowledged. However, all of this stems from the desire for money. I think it's important, for the sake of context, to say that Jeffrey was a very frequent and heavy commissioner of Pasta's.
Pasta doesn't care unless it affects them or benefits them. And if you're a predator who's benefiting them, they don't give a fuck.
In my server, Pasta admits that they only keep Jeffrey around because of the amount of money that they give them.
Fucking knew it. I called it, dude. Typical.
Ever since Jeffrey became a prominent part, essentially, of Pasta's life, they started ignoring most of us and only started, like, preferring Jeffrey over any of our friend group. This is the part I feel most angry about. I wish I was not so much of a coward. I had the ability to ban this person after realizing this, and I regret so much that I did not, and this is completely my fault. Up until this point, I had never had a conflict with Pasta, and I am not a confrontational person. Having sudden disagreements made me freeze up and unsure of what to do. I was terrified out of my mind to finally go against Pasta after.
One second, something's missing. Okay, guys, I actually do need to take a bathroom break. I'm gonna take my phone with me, so I'll type in the chat. If you have questions, go ahead and ask them now. I'll be right back. Your favorite boy's back. Let's continue.
Being complicit for so long, and it was new. However, all of this stems from the desire for money. I think it's important, for the sake of context, to say that Jeffrey was a very frequent and heavy commissioner of Pasta's. In my server, Pasta admits that they only keep Jeffrey around because of the amount of money.
I've been doxxed before. I don't really care, but rather y'all leave me alone. I've been doxxed before. I don't really care, but rather y'all leave me alone. I've been doxxed before. I don't really
Oops, I forgot I had my thing on. Oopsies.
That they give them. Frowned upon is later explaining how Jeffrey's activity on
Okay, let's start again.
Twitter, engaging inappropriately with new 18-year-olds and me, and what they did on call made me uncomfortable, and is probably not safe to have them around children. Pasta had this to say: block the 31-year-olds as the minor interacting with me on an NSFW account. That makes sense, I guess. I explained after in more detail how I felt, saying, hey, it's no worries, I actually forgot what you're apologizing for, so it doesn't matter. The thing about Jeffrey, though, and I avoided talking about it for a second because I didn't want to start drama or anything, because I don't really consider myself that kind of person, is that if he's interacting with minors, they will look at his profile. Like I said, the minor's DNI works both ways, and it's kind of inexcusable if he's 31. He knows his rights from wrongs. He is double my age and showed me on camera a tour of his apartment and a suggestive/borderline NSFW blind furry bag, and communicates with 15-year-olds on his NSFW account. It's not illegal, I guess, but it's just heavily frowned upon, and it's kind of gross. It just feels like if this were any other person, they would be banned immediately. I don't want to tell you what you should and shouldn't do because that's not my place, and I really do respect your decisions and boundaries. I just wanted to let you know how I feel. This is the last you'll hear from.
You don't need Discord ID verification. So, my channel has 18 plus drama chat and an 18 plus chat. What we do is, if you say you're 18 and we check out your bio and your profiles and you're 18, we give you the role. If you turned out to be a liar, that's not on us, that's on you. But when we find out, we're gonna fucking kick your ass out, you know? That's how I personally believe it should go, you know? Because if a kid lies and changes all their profiles to, I'm 18, and people are all like, oh yeah, they're 18, that's a catfish. Come on. But yeah, very, very silly kids doing silly things.
Hear from me about the situation. I'm sorry to keep dragging it. And they ghosted me, only to respond to a web phishing code immediately. I guess you have to have your priorities set somewhere. Multiple people at the time had also expressed in private how uncomfortable they were with Jeffrey in my server, which Pasta acknowledged. However, all of this stems from the desire for money. I think it's important, for the sake of context, to say that Jeffrey was a very frequent and heavy commissioner of Pasta's. In my server, Pasta admits that they only keep Jeffrey around because of the amount of money that they give them. Ever since Jeffrey became a prominent part, essentially, of Pasta's life, they started ignoring most of us and only started, preferring Jeffrey over any of our friend group. This is the part I feel most angry about. I wish I was not so much of a coward. I had the ability to ban this person after realizing this, and I regret so much that I did not, and this is completely my fault. Up until this point, I had never had a conflict with Pasta, and I am not a confrontational person. Having sudden disagreements made me freeze up and unsure of what to do. I was terrified out of my mind to finally go against Pasta after being complicit for so long, and it was new, it was scary. I wasn't sure where our relationship was going to go afterwards. It was also made clear to me that members needed to be banned and approved by Pasta, and I could just not ban whoever I wanted. Both of these factors contributed to my cowardice, but I have also been told that I am the.
So bans have to go through Pasta, which means that Pasta, knowing that this guy was likely exploiting children and shit like that and interacting with people inappropriately, decided to keep him around because money. Like, come on. Guys, I'm gonna keep the Predator because they gave me $600. Oh my god, it's like my little sugar daddy, my Predator pedo daddy or some shit. Like, are you fucking serious? What are you doing?
The child and Pasta was the adult. I still feel upset about my lack of action, however, and that is something that I need to own up to. I said earlier that I would VC with them a lot, and this is true. A lot of the behavior they had admitted to was in VC, and obviously I am not just recording every single call I have with them, but with everything else I have provided and testimonies I have from other people who were present in these calls, I hope that you are able to take my word about these conversations, but I also understand not trusting me. They would discuss rather grotesque topics with me. I can distinctly remember how they would talk about how their characters, Squid and Yin, would have sex in VC with me. I can't prove this.
So it gets worse.
But I do have screenshots of them apologizing to me afterwards for, quote, being inappropriate.
Sorry for being weird earlier. Holy shit, it just set in, okay? Because I was like, hold on, I was getting too out of hand about Squid and Yin Lamau. You knew better. It was really inappropriate of me. I'm gonna do it again. I'm just a silly little guy, you know? Just gonna keep talking to minors about my characters having sex. Fucking ew. Does this count as grooming? Because, like, with the City Bear stuff, whenever she was engaging, I think it might be because, like, y'all were friends and they're exploiting it. I don't. They're engaging you to this. This is messy. If it's not grooming, it's definitely disgusting and predatory. That's all I can say.
You can see the characters Squid and Yin mentioned in this screenshot.
God damn it, it's doing it again. It keeps syncing up to my earbuds even though they're turned off.
This is also after their apology in the Discord was made. Regarding this screenshot of the 15-year-old making NSFW for pasta, they did also confirm this in VC once with me. The conversation went something along the lines of, someone approached me and asked if they could write NSFW about my characters. I assumed they were an adult, so I said yes, but then it turned out they weren't. I spoke to the people who made this claim, however, and they said Pasta was well aware that they were 15 at the time. You can take that however you wish. But then Pasta apologized for everything they have ever done to me in DMs, and every single thing that they have done to minors is excused. Or wait.
Oh no. Also, no, it's not excused because you're not really fucking sorry. You're just sorry you got caught.
But, well,
and it can't be
yeah,
excused because you knew better.
Pasta. They talked about it multiple times in my server, saying that they want to abandon their accounts in order to act under the alias of Salem. From my speculation, abandon their.
The first two posts are popping off. Salem on TikTok. I made an alt account to take a break from being pastarru.
Accounts in order to act under the alias of Salem. From my speculation, it seems that they are trying to pose as a child. The art style, after all, was, quote, inspired by Tofux, whose style became popular when they were a child. They're taking commissions off of this account too, and have since closed their pastarru VGen commissions. I find it very convenient how a few weeks after the original document gets released, suddenly they want to delete all of their social medias under the excuse of, I need to touch grass. They blame this on the mistakes they made when they were a kid, which is not really true. They were at a minimum 18 when this all started, for the most part. I understand that there is no mental maturity difference upon just suddenly turning 18, but there are.
Once again, I hate to be that guy, but when I turned 18, I figured out that I should not be making inappropriate jokes with people under the age of 18 anymore. I know you could argue, oh, but if it's just a year age gap or whatever the fuck, rather play it on the safe side, dude.
Are still legal responsibilities you must adhere to, one of which is not engaging inappropriately with children. Still, there has been almost 4 to 5 years to correct this behavior, and no change has been made. This next section isn't really
not exploiting them to date them, but getting them used to the sexual talk and then just using them as an outlet to talk about stuff like that. Probably for emotional support and shit like that too. I don't know. It's just gross. I just want validation.
Relevant to the conversation, but is just rather my own personal grievances I have with Pasta that maybe showcase some of their more toxic behavior. If you remember anything about Pastarru, they used to have a merch store, which was then taken down because the people that ran the merch store were not paying Pasta out appropriately. Many people started asking about keychains and other merchandise to the point where I felt like I should do something about it. I offered at the time to do keychain products for Pastarru. I understand that this comes from me. This is completely my offer, and Pasta never asked me to do any of this, but I still feel upset that I did a lot of things and I was just met with such neglect. I understand as well that friendship isn't a contractual situation. Just because I do something for you doesn't mean you have to do something for me. And I feel like to view it in that way is not fair and not how friendships should be. But I just feel like it wasn't fair to treat me like this. I sent them an iPad that I didn't use for free because they were talking about how they struggled using their old iPad to draw art when they needed to stay in bed. And like I said in the beginning of this video, I rigged all of their VTubers for free. I will repeat myself just because I want it to be clear. Friendship is not contractual. It is not a business transaction. There is no give and take.
Sounds like a manipulator. People like them need to keep their hypersexuality in check and humble themselves. It shouldn't make anyone go in and out of bounds like this from someone who's hypersexual out of trauma. I'm hypersexual. I've been through a lot. Like, a lot. But I'm not gonna talk about that with anybody other than adult friends, or if I have a partner, which even with my adult friends, the most I ever do is like make not safe for work jokes because, buddy, this just, you can't excuse this. Oh, but they're ignorant, blah, 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 blah. If they're ignorant, and then if they had stopped doing it in 2022, you know, it's still fucked up because they're an adult doing that shit. But at least it wouldn't be a pattern. Because this is a pattern. Dates back from 2021. It probably is going to keep going. God knows what they were going to do on the Salem account. Because they're like, oh, don't tell anybody the age. What are you going to do with those fans? Talk about your Sona's dicks and shit with them too? What are you going to do, huh? You ever going to tell them that you're 22? Talking to a bunch of kiddos? What's going on?
But I just feel like I am allowed to share my experiences.
You definitely are.
Overall, I think a lot of their behavior is very strange and has been
predatory,
unaccounted for, even with multiple people bringing it up. And I wish that they would take the position of an adult that they are and
it's because they don't want to be held accountable
for their actions in a mature, proper way, instead of hiding everything, closing all of your accounts, and then suddenly popping up under a new alias. Thank you so much for your time and listening to me talk about my experience. I really do appreciate you sticking through all the way. I, again, have never done something like this before, and this is super difficult for me. It's a lot of stress, it's a lot of consideration, and yeah. If you have any questions regarding this situation, I will do my best to answer most of them in the most honest way that I can. I will link social medias that you can reach out to me on in order to clarify, ask questions, interview me, whatever you need to do in order to make the situation more clear. Thank you again so much for your time, and
So, now we're gonna look at the document. Oh, and also this was the thing I was talking about. GoatCatto. Oh, we'll look at that. Don't know if I will post this because pastarru stresses me out a lot and will probably send their rabid fan base after me. I'd like to clarify, I am aware that I am no better. However, I was young and an idiot. No, don't say that because Pasta was old enough to know better. Don't compare yourself to someone who knew what they were doing. Like, sure, you might have done some irresponsible, emotional stuff, but you're a kid at the end of the day. Kids do stupid shit. Kids hurt people. It's just how it goes. Update. Pastarru is a groomer. Before you make a response, read it. Don't skim it. Forgot about this due to school, but I am heavily mulling over released this because most of the associated accounts were deleted. Pastarru has deleted their Tumblr and Twitter. Okay. Weird jokes with not safe for work in a server full of minors, their socials. I admit that a lot of this is in the past, and Pastarru already addressed this to a minimum level, but not enough. It was still irresponsible of them to be so open about it in a server full of minors, at the time it only being 13 plus and Pastarru being 19 through 20, assumed 02 to 2002. Pastarru not only discussed it, but also allowed people to talk about it too. The heavily detailed ones are possibly deleted too. Pastarru allowing someone to talk about Rue's sex poses. Okay, hold on. We're gonna go through all of this. We just saw the video, I know. Oh, the video's enough damning evidence. We're gonna look at all of it. So Rue is tall and Sarita is small, so stand and carry is one. Hopefully Rue is strong. I mean, I did make Rue comedically strong for comedy. Even better. I'm thinking, Lotus. Lotus would probably be the best if you think about it. Where's my horny roll? I'm just laughing my ass off about Enkoto is suffering downstairs because I won't stop breeding. And they're talking about sex poses in a server full of minors. Where's my horny roll? Horny roll? So there was a horny roll? Or is this just a joke? Irene Supreme, am I even allowed to witness this? Even if it was a joke, why would you have that in a server with, like, kids and shit? What are you doing? Fun fact, I was thinking of that for quite a while. Yeah, you're right, the size difference is interesting. Yeah, I wonder if I say it, I'm gonna get kicked. Y'all are already breaking the rules. It doesn't seem like Pasta cares. I'll let you, but you better delete that shit so fat. Oh, no, it's not that bad, actually. So would Rue be gentle, or... That's not it, it's something else, but I'm asking. Not people wondering how a flower I mean, I can see him being gentle. Shut up, you shut up, right fucking now. Talking about... detailed sex in a server with children. Oh, but it was years ago. You see... You also phrased it as, oh, I was just, talking about topics, and joking about them. It wasn't that bad, but, blah, blah, blah. That is disgusting. No way. And it keeps going. Oh, wait, wrong one. He might need a chair since he's small. Will Cerebrum put the seed in the flower? What the fuck do you mean by wheelbarrow? What are you watching on the yellow YouTube? Talking about Pornhub. Sex positions. DM the image if you want. I hope that's not a kid. But oh my god, I wouldn't be surprised. What? Okay, hee. So you're receiving not safe for work images from someone who could or could not be a minor. 13 plus at the time. Also talking about your character's genitalia around minors too. Like, yeah, that's a totally normal thing. Totally, sure. Just let me talk about whether or not my character has balls because that's a normal thing to do around kids. Okay, we already looked at that. Siri is a child again. Plus, that's awkward for me when I'm drawing porn of him. Why are you talking about that? Ran out of... Talking about sex again. Another sex thing. Fanfic. Talking about sex. Uh-oh. No, they're not lovey-dovey. Okay, I already saw that. What breedable means is root breedable. Discuss, hey, mind if I was giving operator, blah, 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 blah. In case anybody needs help with anything, that's totally aight. If not, though. So you're offering this person moderation if you draw them cute and breedable. Not appropriate. Okay, I'm not gonna look at the copying concept stuff because I don't really like that stuff. Oh wait, no, this has something to do with this. Never mind. I was a fan of Eden, blah, 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 blah. I posted my AU in the fan art channel, and Pastarru likes it and makes an OC based off of it with a page and everything. Sure, whatever, until I get banned like 2 weeks later for no reason. Which Pasta explains that, oh, they figured out this was the 12-year-old or something, so they banned them or whatever. I play on normal. I try to use my drawing tablet, yada, yada, yada. I didn't know a whole drama was going to start in my server for blocking you. I'm sorry, it wasn't personal, but I also don't know why you got banned either. Wait, so did Pasta lie then? Because in my DMs, they're like, oh, they got banned because I figured out who they were. Wait, how did you know it was me? By the way, what did the drama start? I'm so sorry. It's... so you didn't ban them, but you blocked them, but you're saying you don't know why they got banned, even though you said that you knew they were being what? Where's my thing? Where is it? People, blah, blah, blah. Let me see. They were banned because I connected the dots of who they were. The concept, in my opinion, wasn't that the original in context of the lore of my story, because people were talking about what if this happened, and they made their own version, and I get inspired. They said they don't mind it and just upset about the ban, which is very fair, very horrible timing, but I'd really rather not have someone who I had bad experience with in the past. Oh, I'd rather not engage with this person who I experienced bad things with in the past. But then you're engaging with them in a conversation after the ban. I didn't know a whole drama was going to start in my server for blocking you, blah, blah, blah. I don't know why you got banned either. So you're lying there. Wait, how did you know it was me? By the way, why did the drama start? I'm so sorry. That was not my intention, believe me. I was just upset for being blocked, but I didn't want to start a whole shit show. Wow, forgive me. Also, I think the blocking was over a pose. I'm not sure. Why does a giant shit casserole involving me happen while I'm sleeping? I was not aware I was blocked until after I tried to reply. Their Instagram is deleted now, probably to cover their ass. I didn't even do anything. I only ever told friends about being blocked and acknowledged it was probably due to heavy inspo. The first safe word is irid. Oh. I asked everyone I knew and denied it. I asked someone who was in the server to check and they found nothing. Did you really just pull that out of your ass? The top of it is just me replying to a story about Osu. How did you know it was me? It was me asking how Pastarru managed to find my Instagram because I was under a completely different name. Because, you know, I had an IRL added. So this was like a completely different Instagram account and Pasta went out of their way to figure out who they were. Yeah. That's awful. So, baked in that screenshot? What are you talking about? This isn't baked. Isn't Pastarru friends with Jack? I don't think so, not anymore. But like, this is creepy. You went out of your way to figure out what this kid's account was to message them. I was 11 through 14 and struggling with extreme delusions on psychosis. They claimed to not enjoy parasocial relationships, but was fine with messaging a fan almost daily. Later in February 2022, I found myself unblocked and messaged pastarru on Twitter, kind of joking about it, like, what's happening in the world? Stupid, I know. Keep in mind, I was 12. Oh, I unblocked because, yeah, I'm fine with you now. Baha. Oh, can I just ask something real quick? We messaged on and off for a few weeks, but I'd make not safe for work jokes, and pastarru would tell me just not to do that because they knew I was 12. Still really weird to talk to a 12-year-old in general. Is it along with allow you always? It's weird to talk to a 12-year-old when you complain about parasocial people. Can you not be not safe for work in DMs when you're a fucking minor? Like, please, no, I'm sorry, but this is just getting weird. Oh, so it's okay if you talk to minors in other DMs. In 2023, 24, probably in 2021 too. And whenever you talk about sex with kids in your server, but oh no, this 12-year-old being in your DMs? Now that's pushing it. That's too far. But then you go on to still talk sexually with other people who are underage. So you know better. You're a minor. Like, please, no. Guys, I didn't know better. Within the past 5 years, I didn't know better. Ha! I call bullshit. Once again, you're lying. Liar, liar, pants on fire. What is up with these people lying? They act like what they say on the internet can't just be brought up again. Like, holy shit, dude. Can't get a screenshot, but I once showed pastarru my OC who was butt ass naked, and pastarru was like, hee, make him gayer. Okay. Freaking what is this? Oh, we weren't friends. Pasta says that they and the 15-year-olds weren't friends. But y'all are talking like friends in here. Come on. Still acting real buddy-buddy with someone who collaborated on a smut fanfic. Knowing... Well, to be fair, we don't know if Pasta knew they were 15, but whatever. I'm nowhere near as a victim, but they've moved on and are staying anonymous for a reason, but they gave their permission for me to make this. I don't really care anymore about staying anonymous myself, but if anyone goes after them, I will know they want nothing to do with you. During 2018 to 2020, I'm guessing, pastarru has had a history of posting suggestive, near non-safe work content, which is less severe given they were around 16 through 18. Second is Coolio, which could be forgivable, but pastarru never really took accountability. Okay. Okay, I'm not looking at that. Okay, I'm not looking at this either. You're not doing the child-coded stuff. We're not looking at that either. A friend of mine came to me about their experiences. When I did, I think you can infer what happened with those screenshots. I don't believe we were in the old, but when I tried to come clean about it in Pasta's server, I was the one punished and they took the abuser's side. Upsetting, but Pasta and I got along for a while. I would draw them fan art. They drew a piece of one of my characters. We did an art trade once, and they said that the two characters should kiss and make out. Painful how I was interacting with someone who thinks this behavior is okay. I was quite literally banned from their server for posting not safe for work. It wasn't. I was held at gunpoint. I don't remember the character I drew from their cast. It was a gorgeous character, though. It wasn't Nero or Lily. I think that's her name. It was a unique name, I believe. Her color was white and orange. She had antlers and a halo. She was shipped with my character, Surya. That's the character Pasta was saying stuff about, like, oh, she should make out with insert character I drew. I figured, so the last time I tried to enter the server and talk about my case, I was banned again. I suppose the community kept tabs on me. That's okay, though. The story will unfold soon, and the judgment of my case, along with so many others, will be shamed. Gotta love betrayal. Accusation about the Nazi stuff. Okay, not looking at Crocobug. I don't even know what's going on with Crocobug. pastarru. On 8/19/2024, when pastarru responded to the first accusations that came out, they attempted to claim they thought it was okay because the server is 16 plus. I used to think it would be okay to mention this since this is 16 plus server and I have never posted my not safe for work art that you cannot find. This last response is implying that the server was always 16 plus, but it wasn't. True, we went over that earlier. Very sorry for being rude to server members on the server. I'm not sure how to explain myself or defend myself. I am in the wrong for this. I'll look into this, and please, for the love of God, tell me if I'm being wrong or hurtful. Except we did tell you. I told you, but all you ever did was play dumb or try to flip it. True. Okay. Oh, we're at the end of the document. So, I'm not quite sure what else we need to go over. Oh, here's the defense document. Haha, I'm here just because some teen decided to feel important, made an edit, and started drama out of thin air about a decent person, all for clout and attention. Not true. Before you waste your time trash talking me anywhere, honestly, don't bother because I couldn't care less. I'm just doing my thing. Make sure you actually read my entire document carefully. You might just be surprised once you do. All right, let's get into it. You can call me Anon because I'm not about to reveal my real name. Our so-called victim here, someone who goes by... Okay, I'm not looking at that. Jeez, blah, 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 blah. I'm here to debunk what most of this little punk is claiming and show you how pastarru was accused on completely false grounds. Whoever wrote this is either a child... If they're an adult, they're really fucking stupid. To put it simply, pastarru joked about which positions his characters might have sex in and laughed about it. One of his characters is twice the size of the other, so they'd need a chair, or because they're so horny that their moaning would bother the neighbors. LOL, these are just basic jokes. Sure, they're a little suggestive, but seriously, the server was 13 plus. Are you really trying to tell me that everyone on there was an innocent 13-year-old who knows absolutely nothing about sex, has never had a biology class on reproduction, and would be, oh no, scarred for life because... pastarru joked about his characters having sex. I'm not going to say it scarred them for life, but it can potentially... Well, no, actually, I take that back. I apologize. My brain isn't braining right now. An adult in no way, shape, or form should be talking about sexual positions or actions with children. Oh, are you telling me that 13-year-olds are little innocent angels? You sound like a pedophile. What are you saying? What the hell are you saying? Be honest, those of you calling pastarru a predator over this, do you even think, or are you just hyperfixating on the fact that pastarru was 20 while others allegedly were as young as 13? Fun fact, pastarru didn't even know the ages of his audience on Discord, and no one was harmed. Have you seen a single person claim they were traumatized by the topics pastarru joked about? Yeah. Did you see anyone ask him to stop? People on his server literally supported and engaged with his jokes. Doesn't that prove they were okay with it? Whether they were okay with it or not, there were kids there. Oh, well, not everyone there is a child. You still need to be responsible and keep the children in mind. What the hell is this defense document? What the hell? Also, they supported and engaged with his jokes. He was the one engaging with them. Those are his fans. Little children, and fans especially, are gonna look up to their idol and be like, haha, they're joking about sex. I want to joke about sex. Let's talk about sex. That is just disgusting. Servers have plenty of channels. Are you seriously suggesting that if theoretically a 13-year-old joined the server, pastarru would drag them into the not safe for work zone and force them to read his jokes about sex? Except they weren't all just in that zone. I found them myself outside. I didn't even have that role. Some of them were in general chat. I was able to find all of them. But if little pussy pasta... Sorry. I'm being mean. I'm just pissed off that they deleted everything. I would have been able to find more if they hadn't have done all that stuff. And the cherry on top, if what Pastarru joked about had been a fanfic, it wouldn't have received a PG-13 rating, which matches the server's 13+ rating at the time. Shut up. Because he didn't dive into explicit details. He was just making surface-level jokes, not engaging in explicit discussions about sex. That's not true. There were no not safe for work channels, lol. This was in the general and lore channels. Like I said, these jokes still shouldn't have been made. So, it's funny how the document makers are like, listen to me. Also, yeah, sorry, the cops. I live next to a station. I think the doc maker was probably a victim of pasta and trying to work out their frustrations. It makes me sad. I hope it's not. Hope it's not a victim. But I am not liking this document at all. And the way they're talking about it just makes me think they're older. I don't know. I don't see a 13-year-old typing this. Anyways, Jason really stretched this situation beyond reason, especially considering the fact there were no victims. Based on the screenshots, it's clear that none of the participants were bothered by these topics. And as I mentioned, Pastarru approached these jokes were so surface level that it doesn't even come close to being explicit descriptions of erotic material. And one last section. Okay, not reading that. I specifically signed up for AO3, yada yada yada. Okay. Okay, we're not talking about the copying stuff. Sorry, but I don't care for art debates. They're not important when we need to talk about predatory behavior. Later in the document, Jason writes that Pastarru blocked his second Instagram account, even though Jason never mentioned anywhere that it was his, and yet somehow Pastarru still figured out that the second account belonged to the same person he had already banned. Here's a screenshot from the document. Here's that. And now give me the floor. I woke up today to see that Jason posted on Twitter claiming someone stalked him to message him on Telegram. Let me clarify. Jason had a link to his Telegram on his Tumblr, and he also had the same link on his YouTube channel. Okay, but you're still being fucking weird. You're like listing a person's socials. Anyways. Next, Jason writes about how he used to message Pastarru. From the screenshots, it looks like he sent messages into the void. No, there's more than that, which doesn't exactly scream eager to chat. Jason also admits to making a lot of NSFW jokes, but then excuses himself with, I was just a kid. How cute. Because that's how kids are. See what I mean? How this doesn't really sound like a 13-year-old. This sounds like a bitter, 17, 18-year-old. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Jason who wrote this. Oh my god. You know what? I'm not even going to bother with reading the defense document. Let's read Pasta's thing. Okay. I'll make a response video to everything I can. I'm sorry I never took anyone beforehand seriously until now. I shouldn't have ran away and hoped everything would go away only to be caught and dragged back. So that's an admission. To be clear with everyone, and apologies if I downplay it, I've had inappropriate conversations around minors multiple times as Pastarru, and I have been absolute assholes to minors and children in general, including some of my friends. Except it's not just around them, it was one-on-one with them too. I know my intentions are different and my reasoning and beliefs are different, but it will never excuse the fact that I have hurt people due to my irresponsibility. I have lied and hurt people. Yep, liar. Do not excuse what I have done. Hold me accountable. I wonder if you're going to piss yourself over this. It took a new start and a friend to say that I'm in the wrong. I can't fix this and I can't pray everyone forgets it. Also proves that, they don't care. They just wanted it to go away. I can apologize all I want, but it won't repair everything I've done over the years. I don't need forgiveness. I just need everyone to know I'm sorry. You're not sorry. You're just apologizing to save your ass because this stuff blew up. I do not deserve a community, and I cannot handle having a community I thought it could be different, but I have failed all of you. I'm sorry to everyone, and that it's too late for me to apologize. I've lied to people beforehand about this, but I've gotten rid of the majority of my socials and Discord to not hurt anyone anymore. I was not thinking about how it got rid of evidence for victims, but whatever lack of proof there is, believe the victims, please. I know I'm in the wrong, but I beg of everyone to not defend someone who has hurt people when you could have been one of the people I've been horrible to. And even if I do manage to defend myself, do not hurt the people who accused me of anything. Hold me accountable even if I can't hold myself accountable. Following this, I will be slowly deactivating the ways you can support me. I do not want defenders. I need to address this. You need to get offline. You don't... Oops. Hope y'all didn't hear that. But this is just vile. I just want to thank you for actually acknowledging your mistakes and actions, as well as you have made me realize on what not to do when I as well one day to be a popular animator like you. So I thank you for that, as well as I am disappointed on the actions you have done. I'm sorry. I know that person's probably sweet and innocent, but Pasta's not sorry. Pasta's a liar. They've been doing this since 2021. They're just deactivating everything because hold me responsible. Hold me responsible. Oh, God. You want people to hold you responsible, but you didn't want the public to because you wanted to brush it under the rug. Good Lord. Looking through old stuff right now. Oh my God, the shit I'm finding, bro. Send it to me in DMs. That's crazy. Well, is there anything else I need to go over? I'm not sure what else I need to go over. Oh God, it's 2:48 a.m. That's crazy. I'm deactivating so people can hold me responsible. No, you're deactivating because you got caught. Exactly. They slowly started doing this over the course of, the last month or two, whenever the allegations first started surfacing. I think it's because they knew this was just the trigger for their downfall. I could actually forgive someone if they've been normalized to acting a certain way, but Pasta shows no remorse whatsoever. Exactly. Exactly, Garfield. And plus, they've acknowledged on multiple times that they knew better. So, I'm about to end the stream, but for those of you who are in the chat, thank you for listening in and watching. I hope that this has helped educate y'all on how disgusting Pasta is. Not to be, a name caller or whatever, but I think they're a creep. They've done predatory stuff. I think they're a liar, and they're manipulative, and they're just doing this so that they can get away. They think deactivating will solve their issues, and they're gonna address everything and apologize, and then disappear. But they're probably just gonna do this again. Do not let this person have an alternate account. Don't let them come back to the internet. Do not let them engage with minors again. If you know someone who has interacted with Pasta or anything like that, come forward. Make sure you do it on the burner account. I don't want your main accounts getting harassed or stalked or anything like that, but compile your evidence, report it if there's any illegal material. You deserve to have your story shared. And